Imagine you wake up one morning and the world has changed in a quiet, profound way. The radio announcer's voice is calm, but the message is anything but. From today, cash is no longer legal tender. The notes in your wallet, the coins in your jar, the emergency 20 tucked into your shoe. They are all just paper and metal. They are museum pieces. You cannot use them to buy a loaf of bread, a bus ticket, a newspaper. All payments, from the smallest to the largest, must now flow through the digital ether. Banks, credit card companies, sleek payment apps, they now hold the keys to every single transaction. It sounds like a plot from a science fiction novel, and yet it doesn't feel entirely alien. We are already halfway there. We tap our phones for groceries, we click to order a taxi, and we transfer money to friends with a few swipes. In some cities, you can go weeks without touching a physical banknote. It's a deliberate leap, not a gradual drift. This isn't just about convenience. It's a fundamental rewiring of our relationship with money, each other, and the institutions that govern our lives. The immediate effects would ripple through society, touching everyone from the CEO in a skyscraper to the busker on the street corner. The idea is sold with a neat promise of modernity and efficiency. A world without the messiness of printing money, securing it in armoured vans, counting it in tills. Quick break, like, comment and subscribe for future videos. Cleaner, faster, more streamlined. Proponents point to benefits. A massive blow to the black market, an end to tax evasion through cash-in-hand deals, a treasure trove of economic data to steer the economy. It sounds logical, almost utopian, but money's story is never just logic. It's built on habits, fears, and the need for privacy and independence. So, let's embark on a thought experiment. Peel back the layers of this cashless future. Start with everyday moments instantly transformed. Then dig into complex, unintended consequences that would reshape our society. The promise of a better world is alluring, but the path rarely runs straight. This isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a social experiment on a global scale, and we are the subjects. The first day would be full of confusion, but the real story unfolds in the weeks, months, and years that follow. The first test of this new world arrives with your morning coffee. In your favorite local shop, the cash register and tip jar are gone, replaced by a sleek tablet and a QR code. Payment is a seamless tap of your phone. For many, a welcome adjustment. But look closer. An elderly man struggles, his cash now useless. Outside, a street musician's livelihood depends on a stranger's phone and a reliable internet connection. What was trialed is now mandatory, sorting people into the digitally fluent and the digitally excluded. Every time you tap your phone or swipe your card, you leave a trail. In a world without cash, this becomes a permanent, detailed map of your life. Your bank knows your habits, your movements, even your beliefs. This digital ledger is a powerful tool for law and order, making it difficult for criminals to operate. But this same power makes many uneasy, placing unprecedented information in the hands of the state and large corporations. But privacy isn't about hiding wrongdoing, it's about living without constant scrutiny. It's the freedom to buy a book, donate to a cause, or consult a therapist without that information being logged, stored, and potentially analysed. In a cashless society, we'd have to trust the guardians of our data to act benevolently and competently. Forever. That's a big ask. The digital ghost in your wallet watches every move you make, and you have to hope it remains a friendly one. One compelling argument for banning cash is its potential to cripple the criminal underworld. Cash is untraceable, the lifeblood of illicit activity. Remove it, and you throw a giant wrench into the machinery of organised crime. But to assume this is the end of crime is to underestimate human ingenuity. Criminals are, above all, adaptable. The immediate response would be a shift toward alternatives like privacy-focused cryptocurrencies, or even a return to ancient forms of exchange like bartering. The cat-and-mouse game simply moves to a new arena, or luxury watches could become a new form of currency in the underworld. We might even see the emergence of parallel, informal credit systems based on reputation, trust, or fear. Banning cash doesn't eliminate the desire for untraceable transactions. It just forces those who need them to find new and potentially more inefficient or dangerous ways to conduct business. Crime wouldn't disappear, it would just put on a new set of clothes. Cash is a public utility. When you pay a shopkeeper £10, they get £10. But digital payments are a private service. For every tap or click, banks and payment processors skim a percentage off the top. For large corporations, these fees are a manageable cost. But for a small shop with razor-thin margins, they're a significant burden. In a world without cash, businesses have no choice but to accept these charges. This represents a massive, silent transfer of wealth from small businesses to the financial industry. It also creates systemic risk. If a major processor has an outage or decides to hike its fees, businesses and consumers are held captive. Cash has a remarkable, low-tech resilience. It works during a power outage, when the internet is down, or in a natural disaster. A mandatory ban on cash would eliminate this crucial fallback, leaving the economy vulnerable to a failure of the electrical grid or data networks. In a cashless world, the economic paralysis would be immediate. People would have money, but no way to spend it. The threat isn't just physical. A sophisticated cyber attack could bring the entire economy to its knees. By going fully digital, we make a collective bet that the lights will always stay on. That's a bet with dangerously high stakes. Going cashless opens the door to something far more radical: programmable money. Digital currency embedded with rules that dictate how, when, and where it can be spent. From a government's perspective, it's a powerful toolkit. Stimulus payments could be set to expire, forcing spending to boost the economy. Welfare could be restricted to essentials. However, this same power can easily slide from benevolent guidance to intrusive social control. Imagine your income programmed to block purchases of fast food or sugary drinks, or blocking donations to organizations the state deems subversive. The line between a helpful nudge and outright coercion becomes dangerously thin. In any developed country, a significant minority lives outside the formal banking system. For these unbanked individuals, cash is not a choice, it is a necessity. A cashless mandate risks pushing them into a system designed to extract fees, while the digital divide would become a chasm of financial exclusion. It also makes money an abstract number, harming financial literacy for a generation that has never held cash. The transition to a cashless society was chaotic. But about a year in, something unexpected began to happen. It wasn't about crime or convenience, it was about the social safety net. The rich data stream from the digital economy, initially feared for surveillance, was being repurposed. By cross-referencing anonymous transaction data with public service needs, social services could identify people falling through the cracks with astonishing accuracy. This created a proactive, predictive social safety net, offering support before a crisis hit. So, what is the final ledger on a cashless world? It's a world of profound trade-offs. We trade anonymous freedom for digital convenience and state-level control. We gain efficiency, but risk excluding the vulnerable and creating a society fragile to outages. The technology is neutral. Its impact is determined by the values we embed within it. In the end, the question is not for a government, but for you. What is your privacy worth? You've been watching IfVerse. See you in the next reality.